Sleaze me, Fram.
Still getting caught up from over the weekend, Barnes, with, the Grammys, the pre-Grammy parties. Saturday night they call that Clive Davis party a pre-Grammy party. It's always star-studded. I've been to it before. It's kind of intimidating in that room. But did you hear that it got delayed? Because there was a gunman at the Waldorf Astoria.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they arrested a gunman. So apparently, people had to wait before they got in. That's tough when you're in your, black tie affair. The guy was booked for felony possession of a firearm and negligent discharge of a firearm.
Wow.
I know.
They just saw him with a gun?
Yeah, I don't know what was happening, but everyone at the party had to just hold before they could get in. Police swarmed the area to deal with this guy. It's crazy. Don't do that at Clive's party. The other one that we didn't talk about was MusiCares, which is Friday night. They honored the MusiCares Person of the Year was Jon Bon Jovi. And at first, I didn't know if Springsteen would show up because his mom, Adele, had just died.
Ooh.
She'd been suffering from Alzheimer's, but he showed up for his buddy. Yeah, Bruce got up and sang, and then they sang together. It was really cool.
That was nice of him to go.
It was nice, and they also did this huge finale at the end with everybody doing Living on a Prayer. I'll tell you what, we're going to play this later, but Jelly Roll was everywhere. He played at that party. He played at the Clive party. There's did you see the Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah, dude.
That was hysterical.
He has unlimited energy, that guy.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to play that later. Let's talk a little bit about Saturday Night Live. Ayo Edebiri, from The Bear. I know you don't watch The Bear, but she made her SNL Live debut over the weekend. Here's what happened, though. For the first time, she had said something a long time ago about Jennifer Lopez, so she got a little emotional as she explained how meaningful this moment was for her. Check out the opening monologue.
Genuinely, I am so excited for tonight. I came up in the New York comedy scene with some of my best friends who I am so blessed to be working with here tonight, and it really, truly feels like a homecoming. And I think I've been up here long enough, so there's really only one thing left to say. Let's hop onto it now. We've got a great show for you tonight. Jennifer Lopez is here. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Have you heard the actual podcast where she trashes J-Lo?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if she wishes she could take that back since J-Lo was on SNL. And
talk about uncomfortable. This is from 2020, where this is why she was emotional being on the same show with J-Lo. Here's what she said back in 2020.
Today I was actually thinking about one of my favorite scams of all time because J-Lo is hosting or is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show.
She is, which is a scam in itself.
And her whole career is one long scam.
Oh, the longest con. J-Lo can't sing. And did you know that J-Lo doesn't know that she can't sing?
Well, that's the thing that is...
She did an interview and then she was like, I never knew that people didn't think I could sing. I thought I could sing.
Like, she thought that she was on... She thinks she's on multiple tracks, but it's not her. I think she thinks that she's still good, even though, she's not singing for most of these songs. And I was reading up because I was fascinated. I became fascinated for myself. And a lot of the, write-ups of the song will be like, J-Lo didn't have time to make it to the studio. J-Lo was busy. It's doing what? Not singing, obviously.
Dude, talk about doubling down and tripling down.
Well, they made a skit on it on SNL, where she's, I guess, supposedly apologizes, quote, "It's wrong to leave mean comments or post comments just for clout or run your mouth on a podcast."
Still, J-Lo had that in the back of her head. J-Lo's the queen. Right after Taylor and then Beyonce and then J-Lo.
That was really, super uncomfortable.
Yeah, she was going for it, shooting her shot.
She was going for it. A couple of other SNL, couple of things I really need to mention. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Shane Gillis is going to host SNL after being fired in 2019 for racial homophobic slurs. He's coming back on the show. Did you see that?
Yeah, is all that over now? So now everyone can go back to free throwing whatever the hell they want to say?
Does that mean he's forgiven? I guess so. And then another SNL story facing backlash after Nikki Haley makes a surprise appearance during the cold open. And SNL all over the place over the weekend.
That show has kind of gone down a little bit, in my opinion. It just doesn't, it's just not like the good old days, like the real good old days, but even of 10, 15 years ago.
Ben, you talk about the good old days. I mean, how can you match those days?
Now, they're working on that movie right now. They've just done all the casting for it about all the original players. It should be interesting to see.
Now, we do have to get into this because this is sort of in your wheelhouse, and I know you're all about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're all about Larry David.
Oh,
Did you see where Elmo and Larry David were both guests last week on the Today Show? It turns out Larry might not be the biggest fan of Elmo.
Come on, that was all fake.
Yeah, he walked over to Elmo, grabbed him by the face to give him a quick, gentle beating to the shock of everyone. Yeah, he beat him down. Then later on the show, he apologized to Elmo.
Oh my gosh, you love Elmo, don't you?
Oh
Elmo, you okay?
Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before.
Ask permission before you touch people, Larry.
Let's get back on the couch and let's talk about how you feel.
I did try to buy tickets to, he only has 2 shows, Larry David, right now. He has one in Boston and one in Washington, D.C. Tickets start at $500.
I thought you bought them.
No, there are a ton available. So I don't know if it's not doing what they thought it was going to do.
So wait, they start at $500, which means...
Yes, they start at $500. And there were seats down close available, but that's a little heavy. Plus you have to get a hotel and get there.
Could you expense that? Could you?
Probably, but still you got to pay for it.
All right, so talk about Curb.
So, Curb, I departed from the Grammys on Sunday night to watch, and you never know with Curb if you're going to get, knockdown, drag out perfection, or if it's going to be, It was so perfect, and what made it even better is the whole episode took place in Atlanta. The episode's called Atlanta, and...
Oh, it's perfect.
I mean, they were hitting home runs left and right. JB Smoove was awesome. Larry was on it. They did some fake hotel. They had some B-roll shots of Atlanta to make it look like they were here, and then he ends up, well, I'm not going to give it away, but there was some funny stuff that happens with the APD. And that looked like a real Atlanta police car, which I was surprised, unless they mocked it up.
Yeah, I got to get caught up because I was in Grammy world.
Dude, it was so funny.
Finally, Carl Weathers being remembered by all of his celebrity friends after his death. Mariska Hargitay, Snoop, Octavia Spencer, Jamie Foxx, all the stars coming out. But here's the one that was really touching in an Instagram video. Sylvester Stallone, who stood in front of this painting of Rocky fighting Apollo, said this on Instagram.
Carl Weathers was such an integral part of my life, my success, everything about it. I give him incredible credit and kudos because when he walked into that room and I saw him for the first time, I saw greatness, but I didn't realize how great. I never could have accomplished what we did with Rocky without him. He was absolutely brilliant. His voice, his size, his power, his athletic ability, but more importantly, his heart, his soul. It's a horrible loss. And I'm standing here in front of this painting because it was probably the last moment we were ever in the ring together, and I'll never forget it. He was magic. And I was so fortunate to be part of his life. So, Apollo, keep punching.
Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Austin Butler doesn't just play a hero in his new Masters of the Air series. Earlier this week, or last week, he was on with Drew Barrymore. She explained she was nervous as she was going out on a blind date. He said he was excited for her, but Drew sort of had doubts. Well, she said, that she was going to dinner, and he said, I like the dinner, adding that, sitting down for a meal gives you a chance to actually talk. I mean, he was trying to help her out, right? He was like, you're going to have a great time. He was trying to assure Drew Barrymore. What a nice guy.
What if you get weird vibes right out of the gate, though? Then what?
Then run. Yeah, then you go to the bathroom, you call a friend, and you have them give you a surprise call.
Do that?
You want me to do that?
Yes. Will you please?
I'll be your friend.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
I'm hearing all these dating stories from Drew Barrymore, which, our friend Damona Hoffman is her love expert on her show.
I don't understand why she's not going to Damona, the expert.
She's sitting right there.
I mean, why not? Little story came out about Martha Stewart. Kind of funny. Martha Stewart's former inmates. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Her former inmates are speaking out. Martha was baking treats using ingredients she had most likely smuggled out of the cafeteria in prison. This is a clip from the new miniseries, The Many Lives of Martha Stewart, with former inmate Meg Phipps.
I received a note from Martha. She suggested that we meet. She also sent that note with a baked apple. It meant she had already tackled the idea of cooking in your dorm or cottage by using the microwave and what resources that you could find, because the baked apple had caramel on it and probably some cinnamon. I suspect some of this may have come from the cafeteria, which we're not supposed to do.
I just kept waiting for Martha Stewart to pop up on one of my 60 Days In episodes. I mean, she's hardcore.
Smuggling in ingredients in prison.
Hardcore.
Hey, I'm going to watch that. Ooh, Darius Rucker got in some hot water over the weekend. Not clear exactly what went down, but it's being described as a minor drug offense, charged with 2 counts of simple possession, casual exchange of a controlled substance. I've never heard that term. Have you?
Yeah, I've heard of that. You're saying he's in hot water. Was it hot bong water?
He's fully cooperating. But then I saw some other story about, I guess, some pills he had, which I think he said, those are my girlfriend's.
Oh, Darius.
So is he like throwing his girlfriend under the bus?
Let her cry.
Some purple pills? What are those purple pills, Barnes?
Ecstasy, maybe? The purple people eaters? I don't know. Come on, Darius.
I don't know. I just thought that was funny. But all over Twitter or X, it was like hashtag free Darius.
Yeah, the only advice I would give Darius was, if you're a big star and you're going to maybe do something wrong, you have to smile in the mugshot.
Yeah, you do. You need to. Just like, hey, it's cool. It's all cool.
Right. Training 101, and you had to be excited that your company was in the mugshot or in the picture that they were using everywhere.
All CMT photos.
Nice.
I love Darius. I don't know if you saw the trailer for this, but that Amy Winehouse biopic, yeah, it has come out. The Focus Features dropped the first official trailer. It's called Back to Black. It's based on her short stratospheric life of a British soul music legend. What a sad life she did have, though, Barnes. It's tragic because she was so talented.
I have a cool Amy Winehouse story from...
Oh, you do?
Yeah, back in... What year did she die? Do you know? It was 2000... Google it real quick while I'm telling you. So there was this resort that we used to... My company shoots resorts all over the world. And we would film this one place in St. Lucia all the time, and it had this bar, 8-seater bar, that was 30 feet from crystal blue water, where it's just, one dude working, whatever. She used to come and just sit there at the corner of the bar.
Wow.
For hours. She was just in love with the people of St. Lucia and spent so much time. I get chills thinking about it. She was there just being a regular person, being so sweet to everybody there, but what a tortured soul.
Well, I believe it's going to probably premiere earlier in the UK and Ireland in April, but then here, May 17th, it kind of focuses on the early years living in London, then her rise to fame, and the recording of course, Back to Black. Check out the trailer.
She had to have died in 11 or 12?
Oh, it was 2011.
Okay, so she was hanging out there.
Yes.
It was 2010-ish.
Wow.
I know, that's
what
sad.
What a talent.
So sad. I do have that trailer. Want to see?
Yes.
I want people to hear my voice. And just forget their troubles for 5 minutes.
Do you know what girl power means to me? Sarah Vaughan, Lauryn Hill. You need to know this. I ain't no Spice Girl.
From primary school to sell-out concerts. It's going to happen one of these days. Voice like yours, got to.
Well, it's one of the best I've ever heard.
That's my daughter. That's my Amy.
I met someone tonight.
Stay lucky, Amy.
Got an eye for the bad boys.
A lot of Brits go to St. Lucia for vacation, so I'm assuming that's why she ended up going there. But a couple of the older women there she adopted them as kind of her mom. And they're so protective over her, and still they tell stories about her still today.
I know I'm going to watch it, and I'll be very sad watching it. TMZ is reporting that Tiffany Haddish has resolved her LA legal woes. I guess she struck a deal that cleared the 2 misdemeanor DUI cases that she had pending against her. She ended up accepting a conviction of reckless driving, pleading no contest to the traffic violation. Now, while things look good for her, Georgia, Barnes, is another matter. Her DUI case there is still going on. Tiffany has signaled that she plans to fight that one out of court. Interesting, because she had like 2 back-to-back, right?
Yeah, she was, and she was just, and she, yeah, back-to-back, and it was all captured and out there.
It's crazy. This was crazy. Anthony Anderson winds up in the ER after an on-set fight goes wrong. Yeah, he reported on Instagram over the weekend that he got in a fight with 2 men and ended up in the ER. The fact that this was a mishap on a movie set doesn't mean the injury wasn't real. He told fans in the Post, "I spent the night in the emergency room. Movie set fights gone wrong. Me against 2 goons and a chair. Guess who didn't win? Who needs a stuntman?"
Whoops.
Oh, whoopsie. That is your celebrity sleaze.